Good evening, hello, and welcome to the final round of Fragmaster's GTI Thursday for 2024. Round number 50 will take place at Kyoto Ring National Reversed, and what a season it has been for the drivers. Let's take a look at the combination for tonight. Just the XRG tonight around the 5.1 kilometer, 3.2 mile Kyoto Ring configuration in its reverse direction for two 11-lap races with, of course, that mandatory pit stop in each race and the top 15 reverse grid in the feature race. That's tonight's combination. Let's have a look at the car. We should all be used to it by now, but the 1.8 litre inline-4 front-engined rear-wheel drive GTI car in the Live for Speed GTI class is the competitor of choice tonight, and I think that's fair enough, because if anyone was using the XFG, they would have been left for dust. Very, very difficult to better an XRG around here, but it does open up for some interesting slipstreaming when the two cars are available. However, just the XRG tonight for the finale, which concludes 12 broadcasts, 50 rounds total. And yeah, thanks again for the Fragmasters team for inviting us along for the full season. It's been a good one. There's been a couple of milestones this year so far. 350th GTI Thursday, 7th anniversary of GTI Thursday as well, round 36. And tomorrow night for Fox Friday, it is the 750th ever Fox Friday event. So please join us for that same time tomorrow for some Fox Formula XR action in Live for Speed. Let's take a look at how the championship standings fare, because we're due some results at the end of tonight, and it looks like Joe Holmes has sealed the deal. He has 2,761 points, over 500 points clear of anybody else. In fact, over 600 points clear of TJ. The championship is his. And we've had a super duper number of drivers entering this year, and we thank all of them for participating. It's been an absolutely fabulous year of racing, but Joe Holmes is your drivers champion for 2024. Over in the teams championship, B2R Born to Race, they turn up week in, week out with a huge number of drivers tonight. 3 drivers representing on the grid so far for the Born to Race team. Rayman, the best of them at the moment, but they have also sealed the championship for themselves. Team championship winners for 2024 of GTI Thursday go to Born to Race. Sim Racing Polska there in P2, solid, and Rotor Fraser also solid on P3. So the championships are pretty much squared up. However, plenty of drama yet to come this evening around this just brilliant track. This is one of the best tracks in Live for Speed, in my opinion. Lots and lots of different types of driving. And let's see how the grid shapes up, shall we? Fnatic for Fragmaster, doing it for the home team. On pole with Nanaluka in P2. Magic doing a good job in P3. Rayman there in P4. Sufor, Rid, Master, Twincam, Koivunen, and Unite your top 10. 30 seconds to go before lights out on the grid, and so a couple of moments just to talk about what a season it's been while we view the full qualifying results on your screen. 29 drivers have set times in the one-shot qualifying session, and that is the grid for our finale. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be going to the track in just a couple of minutes' time for the start of race 1, 11 laps around Ring National Reversed. So as we head to the grid then, joining me in the commentary box is FM Fraz, Fragmaster's Fraz, here for the final time this season, and we're away. As the drivers pull away on the grid. And it's Fnatic with a good start, but we're breaking into 2 lines already. Fraz having a little bit of technical trouble in the background, it seems, but we have some racing underway, and it looks like Fnatic has pulled away at the front and leaves Magic and Nanaluka to battle it out into turn number 1. Slightly wide of the first apex for Nalaluka, but he does manage to consolidate P2. As, now it looks like Rayman is trying to get past Magic as well. And all sorts of problems in the background for Rid, who's been forced quite wide there. And he's got 3 cars underneath him, including Unite driving in that Denso black and white livery. And Joe Holmes slightly out of position, but there in P7, just behind Sufor in the TAV blue and yellow car. Joe Holmes behind in this black, white, and red livery there. And he's going up the inside of Sufor at Parabolica. That's a good move. But now Joe Holmes leads this second pack as we head towards the end of the lap. A double left-hander followed by a chicane, and Sufor losing out to Rid there, as well as, will it be Twin Cam going up the inside? Out onto the oval for technically the second time, but to round off the first lap. It is Fnatic crossing the line ahead of Nalaluka, then Magic closely followed by Sim Racing Polska's Master, and Rayman side by side then with Joe Holmes as Joe goes to the inside for turn number 1, and he's through. Two drivers choosing the first lap to go for their mandatory pit stop. We've got 3 of the SRP drivers and 2 of the Team America drivers into the pit lane, 5 total, as a bit of rubbing between Magic and Master there. Master has the inside line, and that's going to allow Joe Holmes to close up very, very quickly. He's on the outside now for turn 4. Magic's looking to attack as well, but he's not close enough to Master to make that move just yet. And, well, Joe Holmes has still got a nose alongside Magic, who will leave him the space. He'll only close the door now when he's fully ahead. There we go. Really nice, clean driving between these guys, but Joe Holmes is on the move. Got his work cut out to win. We are only doing 11 lap races here. It's not the easiest track to make time on, but there we go. Magic pushed a little bit off there by Joe, but there we go. Joe is through and up to P4. That leaves Rayman and Magic to fight it out. It looks like Rayman has done enough to get through on Magic too, so Magic going backwards a little bit, but Joe already with a big enough of a gap that he's not going to be able to be picked off by Rayman. No slipstream opportunity there for Rayman. And Joe right behind Master now. He's really closing up very, very quickly here. So quite clearly, Joe Holmes not having a representative qualifying time, as he finds himself now closing up to the front guys quite quickly. And Joe is going on the move for, in fact, he's already through at turn 4 on Master, just missed out on that one, but yeah, Joe Holmes up to P3 then. Fragmaster deciding to give Joe a little bit of a bump to symbolise the fact that he wasn't going to go for a return move. He's quite content following Joe around here. And again, Master lifting off, so not really in the mood to repass Joe Holmes. And that will allow a 3.5 second gap to Fanatic to be reduced potentially. Let's see what happens. But Fanatic now coming up to begin lap 4 of race 1. Over start finish he goes. And the gap, we will see how it's changed. It's gone down by almost 0.2 of a second. Unite side by side with Magic over start finish. Both of them closing down on Rayman now. So it looks from that camera angle. But these two very used to drafting around the oval to gain time, and I do wonder if Rayman will go defensive here. Yeah, he does. Unite trying it around the outside. That'll be an awesome move if he can hold it off. Or pull it off, sorry. And Magic has just about got that under control. And then there's Rid in the background, watching all of this unfold. Unite and Magic now changing positions at the Parabolica. Magic trying to find a way back round. He's not going to do it on the outside. Really difficult to do it around the outside there. And Unite just needs a good exit, but he could come under threat again from Magic if he's not careful. But yeah, it looks like Unite's got a good enough exit, and Magic may not be close enough if Unite gets this slipstream. So Unite chasing down P5, and yeah, the gap has opened up, so Magic not able to follow along. So here he comes. Oh, and Magic's left Rayman's left the door open. And Unite's able to just drive straight through.
Afternoon, everybody. Sorry to join late. I see we're on lap 5. I hope Pete's been doing good. And
Yes.
Yeah, pretty excited for the final race of the season.
Yeah, good to have you along, Fraz. Thanks for joining. Bit of technical difficulties at the beginning for Fraz, but he's here now, and that's all that matters. Yeah, it's been good. We're coming up to halfway. Joe Holmes is setting the timing screens alight, but he's still 2.5 seconds off the lead. As we've got Rayman and Magic going side by side. There's lots of action in the top 10, and Fanatic seems to be holding his own just now. He's probably, as long as he gets a good pit stop, he's probably got this one wrapped up already. Don't see the gap coming down quick enough, but never say never. So
Yeah, we got Joe Holmes chasing them down, so yeah, I wouldn't rule it out.
no,
So we
but here
got
we go.
Magic going wheel to wheel here.
Yeah, but there's a whole queue of cars that are hungry for a slipstream, including Twin Cam at the back there, and Rid is already alongside Rayman. And they're going to break into two lines. They're not allowed to bump draft, as far as I know, on the oval in GTI Thursday.
No, no bump drafting allowed. So yeah, it's all about drafting here. We go 3 wide.
Well, Twin Cam's being left out to dry here, and we are going to go 3 wide through the first kink. There we go. Rid leading the diamond formation. Rayman now at the back.
Rayman deciding he's going to take his teammate.
Well, he's going to go with his teammate by the looks of it. Magic and Rid bumping doors. And now the two Born to Race teammates. Oh, contact between Rid and Rayman. And it looks like... Well, it looks like Rayman has the advantage here, but he's not got the best apex speed, but he is through, and he follows his teammate through. Twin Cam goes up 3 places there.
It looks like Sufor joins this train.
Does indeed.
Manchester not far behind. He should be in to join us right away.
Oh, Sufor's dropped a wheel on the grass. Checks up, and rightly so. Manchester is on cue for Fraz there. He's immediately on our screens. Sufor somehow manages to keep ahead for now. Somewhat lucky. Joe Holmes is now up to P2, so Nana Luca has been passed by him somewhere, and while Joe is setting his sights now on that 2-second gap that he has to Fnatic with 5 laps to go after this one.
Yeah, that sounds like a big chore for Joe, but we've seen it done.
Yeah, down to 2.1 seconds, so 0.4 of a second now in the first sector alone, or the middle sector rather. And Fnatic is going to have to push like crazy now to keep
right.
Joe at bay.
Fnatic's my teammate, but he hasn't been behind a wheel for a month at least, so I'm happy to see him. That's for sure. But yeah, I don't know if he can take the pressure from Joe Holmes.
Indeed. Unite coming off a race win on Tuesday in the final round of Ronnie's Tuesday Fun Race Season 2. And winning the RTFR XL Championship this year as well. And currently finds himself P5 in his XRG. Remember that whoever finishes 15th gets pole position for the feature race tonight, so Unite would be demoted down the order somewhat for race 2 if it finishes like this. But it doesn't look like he's closing up on Master just now. The gap currently 2.2 seconds.
See, we got Ride in the pits. See where he comes out.
Yeah, a number of drivers making stops, but Rid is currently the highest placed driver. Only Chameleon for SRP there in the background, I think, has stopped before him. So yeah, Rid is the benchmark. Rid comes out of the pits ahead of anyone else that has also done a pit stop at this stage of the race, which is quite a number of drivers. So 9 drivers have already stopped.
Yeah, generally a lot of drivers stop on that opening lap right after it's, get out into the traffic a bit.
Yep. And still Magic is hunched behind Born to Race drivers, but it's a different one now. It's not Rayman, it's Twin Cam. And again, to the outside line, it just isn't the way to go around. You've got to get to the inside line. You're just not going to get through at this double left. But maybe Magic's trying to line up a slipstream. It's sort of a backwards way of going about
onto the oval here.
Yeah. And it looks good enough.
He's glued right on Twin Cam.
2-4 pits there in the background. So Sufor doesn't want to slow himself down. And again, Magic goes for the outside line.
Right, he should have lifted, stayed right behind him, and yeah, tucked in. Yeah, made the pass on this side.
Very unusual driving. Doesn't want the slipstream, and he's going to lose out as a result. Unite also pitting now. So pitting from P5. Magic here being held out to dry on the outside line. Twin Cam will have.
Right, this is too easy for a twin cam to defend. I mean, he's just had to be on the inside the whole exit to the first turn.
Yeah, Magic finally going for the move, but it's too late. Twin Cam will have the position easily. Slightly weird. But anyway, Magic trying to size up his opponents around the lap, but no gains after having such a good exit from the oval. They should have been closing up to Rayman easily there. And again, Magic going for the outside line.
Right, Twin Cam's seen this before. He knows where to position his car. And he's just, yeah, he's always going to make Magic go to the outside of him.
Yeah, you've got to force the move. If you've got the overspeed, you have to force the move. You've got to get to that inside line before your opponent. Both of them clean drivers, so unlikely to squeeze each other off the road. But yeah, as we go into Parabolica, we have a 1.4 second lead from Joe Holmes for Fnatic. Yeah, they both are. And Joe is really, really pushing. But at the end of this lap, we have 3 to go. And it's a tall order to close that gap down. We do have the pit stop, which can be a great leveler. And let's see whether Joe wants to leave it as late as possible, or will one of these two blink first?
I expect them to follow each other in. And yeah, this is going to be exciting final lap, I have a feeling.
Yeah, Joe starting in, I think, P6 on the road, thereabouts, up to P2, but tantalizingly close to the victory. But 1.2 seconds around here is not going to disappear quickly. There's not that many corners, really. It's a long straight with a couple of bends in it, which are all obviously flat out. No real time to be gained here. We don't have a slipstream, and yeah, to that effect, 0.04 of a second only is the improvement from Joe over Fnatic in the final sector. 3 to go in race 1. Don't go anywhere. We've got the reverse top 15 race coming up at about the bottom of the hour, as we've got a car off, Fraz, at turn 4. Someone's in the gravel. I can hear the car. I can't see the car.
I can't see him. Like... Oh, I saw him for a brief second there.
Yeah, it's Faku.
Uh-oh, and that's beached hard.
Yeah, plenty out of the way. And the gap now from Joe to Fnatic is almost a second. So we're almost into the point where if Joe can keep taking this sort of time out of Fnatic, there could be a car within slipstream range come the final corner of the final lap, which is always exciting. So
we've seen it all year long where Joe just outbreaks everybody. If there's a turn, he's going to he seems to gain ground.
It's also the carrot on the stick philosophy that Joe can see his target. So he can always brake slightly later, use the car ahead as a benchmark. It's way easier to chase than it is to be chased in a situation like this. Once you've committed to the brake pedal, that's it. Your die is cast. The driver behind you has you as a reference point. You can choose what to do based on... Oh, Fnatic peels to the pit lane. Joe does not follow him. So we are going to have a very interesting next couple of laps. This is the situation I always enjoy when there's an unknown thrown in there. So the pit lane here, Fraz, is super technical.
It's very long, and yeah, I fully expected them to pit together, but this is going to be great.
Yeah, so they've now neutralized each other. Neither of them get slipstream from one another. Fnatic will come out of the pit lane in some traffic because there are going to be drivers who aren't pitting on the penultimate lap. So this could be a good call from Joe to leave it just one more lap, because Fnatic could get unlucky here. In fact, he might do. There's cars coming round. Fnatic's going to drop all the way down to just outside the top 10 at this point, potentially. And, well, is there someone coming round to meet him? Where's Curry? Curry's gone in the pit lane, and Unite's only just gone over start-finish. So I think Fnatic's going to have clean air, which is fortunate for him. But Joe Holmes has track position. Fnatic will have the momentum down to turn one, Fraz, after.
Right, that's what I was thinking, that the Fnatic will be carrying the speed this time. I got to cheer for my teammate.
Let's see what Joe can manage.
Like you said, now he doesn't have that carrot in front of him, so yeah, Joe's just got to set his own pace.
I mean, that leads me nicely onto the fact that Joe doesn't really need a carrot in order to be fast, but it certainly helps. I don't know anybody that doesn't like to have that target ahead of them to kind of chase.
No, if you can chase somebody, it's all that much better. I mean, of course, being in the lead, it's the best, but
yeah, but in order to be in the lead, you have to have a sizable pace margin over somebody for a prolonged amount of time around a track like Kyoto Ring, because of, well, how long the straights are, and you have to always be far enough ahead to neutralize the slipstream. Joe Holmes now, final opportunity for a lot of drivers, the remainder of the drivers, to pit. Of course, there is a mandatory pit stop in this race. You don't have to do any work, but you have to come into the pit lane and give us a pit stop and then go again. It's essentially a stop-go.
Yep, his big problem here is just getting her down to speed, and he's got that.
Yeah, so far so good. We'll have to keep an eye on where Fnatic is. He's come out the final corner. He's just about to hit the pit lane entrance. There he is. And Joe's in his box. Now, has he overshot it?
Oh, he got lucky,
he just got it. That was super, super lucky. But now Fnatic with the momentum over start finish. Let's see if he can hold on.
This isn't even going to be close. I think Fnatic's got it. He's carrying lots of speed.
Yeah, I mean, technically the gap should be about the same as it was, but I think Fnatic has done just enough here to secure the lead. Yeah, exchanging of horns. Fnatic streaks through.
It's much tighter than I thought it would be, though.
Yeah, I mean, this is about as far as they were apart. So they've both given us very, very equal pit stops. But if Joe had stuck with Fnatic, it's, I don't know, he might have had a slipstream opportunity at this point on the previous lap. So yeah, I would have gone with you, Fraz. I would have chased Fnatic into the pit lane, given myself all the advantage that I could. But hey, here we go. This is starting to get interesting. Joe's still able to take time out of Fnatic, and he's got two more opportunities on the brakes to try and close up enough.
Like you say, he's got the advantage of seeing Fnatic's brake lights right now, so he can outbrake them.
Yeah, it's so difficult though into the Parabolica, because it's not a hairpin. It's a full-on corner. So hard to gain anything through here. One more opportunity for Joe on the brakes to get this done. Fnatic is going to be sweating now. This is super, super dangerous territory for him, because Joe can just leave it as late on the brakes as he dares. And he only needs one good exit, and it's good. Joe is so strong on the brakes. Look how much that gap has come down. Fnatic wide of the second apex. Joe might have this here. It's going to be close, but I think Fnatic's done enough.
Yeah, I don't think Joe's quite in the slipstream. It's going to be close.
No, Fnatic's done it. It's enough. It's close. I mean, like I said, I think if Joe had followed him in, we would have had a different story here. But Fnatic just needs to hold the inside line, and he will be the winner of race 1.
So next, we got to keep our eye on the battle for 15th. But yeah, it looks like Fnatic's going to hold off Joe Holmes for the win.
Yeah, Master will take a well-deserved P3, takes the third step of the podium. It's going to be Unite who gains that place up to P4. I think we lost somebody in the late stages of the race, as we have some incidents on the start-finish line. Next is the Born to Race teammates, Twin Cam and Rayman, not necessarily in that order. And then we've got Magic, Madjester, Sufor and Rid finish in the top 10. Got a bit of a pile-up at the secondary start-finish line here as we wait for everybody else to finish. But it looks like Dodislav Fraz is the man on
Yeah,
pole for race 2.
Dodislav and Grzanka on the front row, it looks. Well, that was a super exciting finish.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, yeah, it's always a dilemma of what to do. Joe opted to do the opposite of what Fnatic did, and in the end, it didn't pay out. It was close. One more lap, and I reckon we would have had a side-by-side battle to the line. And we'll have to see what that translates to for race 2, because Joe started in P6 or 7 and had to dig super deep in order to get up to P2, and now he's starting down in P14 for race 2. Well, there we have it. That's everybody across the line at the end of race 1. And here is the result. Pole position converted into first place in race 1 in 25 minutes and 10 seconds. Joe Holmes, fastest lap of a 2:13.26, under 2/10 behind at the line. Super impressive gains on the cars in front for him in race 1. And then Master, under the radar, but coming in home in P3. Third step on the podium with Unite, Rayman, Twincam, Magic, Majester, Sufor, and Rid your top 10. Next, we have Hachiroku and Chameleon with Hernandez, Grzanka, Dodislav, Kirill, Pekka Koivunen, Curry, Ruby, and Rocket, your top 20. And then 10 cars on the 11 cars even on the second screen. So we had a few few late joiners at the start of the race. For Carl's, Cubs, Spider-Man, Hermani, Gabri, Olguita, Grich, Nightcord at 2,500 hours, Nanaluka, Faku D, and Igorka. And that is a good turnout for race 1. Let's see what happens in race 2. There's lots to unpack here, Fraz.
Yeah, anytime we reverse the grid, we know we got something special coming up.
Yeah, indeed. So your starting order for race number 2 will be Dodislav, followed by Grzanka on the front row with Hernandez and Chameleon on row 2, Hachiroku and Rid on row 3, Sufor and Majester on row 4, Magic and Twincam row 5, Rayman and Unite row 6, Master and Joe Holmes on row 7, and Fnatic will be alongside Kirill on row 8. So such a long way down, and a super tall order for those guys to win. I think you called it last time we were here, Fraz, that you thought Joe could not win in race 2 and then won in race 2. What do you think today?
I'm not never gonna say that again. Joe can win from any position on the grid.
Yeah, well, importantly, he's starting ahead of Fnatic, the fastest, his fastest competitor on the track. But you only have to look at the race results to determine kind of what the important gaps are. Because if you get down to P15, you've got 24 seconds separating the drivers there. And, well, at the start of the race, you've got to make up places immediately. Fnatic and Joe Holmes have to make up places into turn 1. They've got to get good exits out of the final corner and overtake people in the slipstream. Do you think that Joe will go for the early pit stop in race 2 and try and get the advantage on some of the other guys out there?
Well, it's a good idea, I think, to pit early because, you come out, not as many cars fighting in front of you, you hope. And, you can slowly pick your way up, pick people off and, advance.
Yeah, and honestly, I think pitting early at Kyoto 2 is a viable tactic, actually, because the lap is almost 2.5 minutes. So, by the end of lap 1, the drivers aren't going to be that spread out. And if you do come across traffic, 5 or 6 laps into the race, it's not necessarily going to be the sort of traffic that's difficult to pass. It can be a bit of a headache, and if you're unlucky, you can follow it through. You can follow the traffic through the parabolica. It can then hold you up into the double left and out onto the oval, and you can lose a significant amount of time. So, it's a tricky decision. But what side of the coin will land face up when this race starts? Who is going to do what? We do not know. We have seen plenty of times this season Joe Holmes opting for that early pit stop in race 2 just to basically reset everything, remove the unpredictability of the first couple of laps where anything can happen, basically. But honestly, I think a number of drivers essentially decide if they're going to pit on the grid. That's the decision made. It doesn't matter what happens. I'm going to go in. Some people will be more less pragmatic and decide, well, I'm going to judge what sort of what the state of the grid looks like when we get round to the final corner, and then make my decision.
Okay.
So yeah, we will see. We have 20 seconds to go before lights out for race 2. And let's do it for the final time in 2024. Let's see our 31 car grid hit Kyoto Ring National reversed. So the drivers are on the grid for the final time this year. And what a year it's been. We've enjoyed some absolutely excellent racing in GTI Thursday, some of the best in 2024. Joe Holmes is your champion of the Drivers' Championship, Born to Race champions of the Teams Championship. So who cares what happens here? This is just a 11-lap dash plus a pit stop to the lights. And we have Grzanka and Dodislav on the front row. And they are away. All eyes on Fnatic and Joe Holmes, though, to see how they manage to weave their way through the pack as we get this race underway. Good start from Dodislav out there at the front. Hernandez also in amongst the action. And the 3 Sim Racing Polska drivers well in the action here. You can spot them quite easily in their white and black stripes livery there. But it will be Dodislav leading everybody into the first corner. And a great sight that as they all weave their way down to turn number 4. So many cars going into that. So many memorable opening laps to races around here, where the first couple of corners at Kyoto Ring National reversed. Just so much fun to drive and so much fun to watch, as we've got contact there between Sufor and Hachiroku. And Hachiroku pushed out wide, dropping back behind his teammate Chameleon now. And, well, actually, no, that wasn't Chameleon, that was Rid. So Hachiroku alongside Rid now. Oh, and someone going off hard on stage left there.
I just sat down and saw that guy just fly off into the beach.
Yeah, who was it? I couldn't quite work it out. But Joe Holmes has made up 2 places. Fnatic has made up 3 places, currently in P11. So we'll see what the drivers decide to do as they head into the final few corners. Sufor here is sort of the odd one out. He's a colourful car in a sea of not very colourful cars. Easy to spot and easy to see that he's having a hard time, as we've got a battle for the lead between Grzanka and now Grzanka to the lead of the race.
Yeah, Dodislav drops to second. Hernandez now all over Dodislav.
Yeah, let's see who goes to the pits. So Joe Holmes stays out. Fnatic goes to the pit lane, and there is Joe. Ooh! We had contact between Mad Jester and Rayman just behind those 2 guys. So Joe Holmes is excited about the opportunity of staying out, and it's Fnatic on this occasion who comes into the pit lane just behind Magic.
So again, now we've got the two top drivers from the last race running different pit stop strategies.
Yeah,
I didn't think that would happen either.
Gaggle of cars here. This is brilliant stuff going through oval turn 1. And down towards the first real corner. So turn 2, and early on the brakes for Rayman. Spooked Pekka Koivunen and Mad Jester. He gets swallowed up. And that's Unite around the outside as well behind Mad Jester. 3 wide with Rid there as well. And sorry, no, that's Nali Luca down in this pack. But Pekka Koivunen leading it out with Mad Jester and Unite.
And you can see they're everybody's sticking side by side, wheel to wheel here. So they're actually, not moving very fast.
No, it's a classic GTI combo. Fantastic wheel to wheel racing, guaranteed. at Kyoto Ring. And, well, this is why the drivers love this class of racing in Live for Speed. It is pure fun.
Yeah, you want door-to-door action, wheel-to-wheel. This is where to be.
Pekka Koivunen getting
Pekka
ahead
holding
there.
them off.
Yeah, good stuff. So Joe Holmes is remarkably just ahead of this group now, as Pekka Koivunen shoved wide. Naliluka pushed into the back of Koivunen as well, as Rayman now on the outside. And who's going to get the best exit here? It's going to be rinse and repeat, the same thing all over again. Majesta forced wide. Naliluka up the inside of Pekka Koivunen, too wide. There you go, and it's a big train now, as they all. Oh, and no, Majesta decided to go to the pits too late. Oh,
Manchester decided to go to the pits.
You can't do that. You cannot do that. You've got to have better spatial awareness when you're on the oval. There's going to be cars alongside you out of that corner. And, well, Mad Jester absolutely ruining his own race and Rayman's. And my. Joe Holmes' fastest lap now, being pushed by Twin Cam. And Twin Cam's gone wide into... who was that? That was... who was that? I can't even work out who that was.
Is that a SRP car?
Yes, it was. For a minute, I thought it was Naliluka, but it wasn't. It was Chameleon or Hachiroku.
Yeah, I see SRP using new skins today. So yeah, it's Ride leading this group, and Joe Holmes on the move.
Yeah, we're side by side at the lead again. Dodislav is taking back the lead of this race from Grzanka, although they're going to be side by side still. And this is all playing into the hands of Fnatic and Joe. Fighting at the front so early on means that the drivers that are faster than you are coming back through the pack. The best thing to do in race number 2 is to find free air, whether that means pitting early to avoid this sort of thing happening, because Dodislav's just lost not 1 but 2 places now, as Hernandez tries to go around the outside.
Well, he hasn't lost it yet. He's going to be in the battle back, but now he's on the outside.
Yeah, it's game over. Go now up to 5th, gets past Sufor just in the background. He'll have Rid now, and he's through. Look at that! Look how fast Joe arrives on the scene. Immediately latches onto the back of Dodislav. He's gone up from P6 to P4 in 1 corner, essentially. Well, this is absolutely massive. Now he's going to get a huge slipstream from the cars in front. And Fnatic there, down in P20. No, Joe pits. He doesn't want to get involved in that fight. So interesting strategy, this. And we'll have to see where he comes out in relation to Fnatic now.
Yeah, I thought Joe was going to be out there for the duration now, but...
Yeah, I thought he was pot committed, but he's come in. Doesn't want to get involved. And he's got Rid just behind him as well. So Grzanka leads this race. Yeah, it's nice. And he's got clean air now, so we'll see exactly what he's up to. Exactly what he's capable of as Fnatic now goes through. And Joe, well, sorry to be a buzzkill.
Yeah, Joe is going to lose out big time here.
Well, that's the thing. How much by? Fnatic goes over start finish. Joe is coming out of the pit lane now. It's basically the way it was at the end of the first race. And I think Joe is going to see Fnatic. He's going to see him streak past again. So we're back to where we were. Joe v Fnatic in that order. And they're net P4 and P5 at the moment.
And that's about the distance Joe made up last race. So
that's impressive, actually. I think Fnatic's actually gained time, even while while Joe's been fighting the rest of the drivers out on the track. But this is what Joe and Fnatic want to see. This is what they want to see at the front. They want to have cars fighting each other to slow each other down. Grzanka does have a lead, but the gap is not enough. The top 5 here separated by almost the gap between Joe and Fnatic. So Fnatic could be already in the kind of net lead here, but we won't know for sure until the very end, once everyone else has made their mandatory pit stop as Sufor goes for a move.
Sufor just arrives on the scene with a late break. Perfect.
Yeah, taking a leaf out of Joe Holmes' book. I mean, he's watched it enough times this season to have a go and occasionally get it right, I suppose. As Dodislav will go to the pit lane, so too will Twincap. So going into the pit lane together it's a useful strategy because it means that you have a slipstream partner if they can stay with you. So if you want a slipstream, you have to follow someone into the pits, otherwise you're less likely to be guaranteed one when you come out.
Yeah, if you can get a drafting partner here, I mean, you can use them here as opposed to a lot of other tracks.
So that is
So,
the gap between P1 and P2, we think. If Grzanka can't keep up the pace, I think we'll get an update on the timings as we go across start finish. Keep an eye on those times next to Fnatic and Joe's names. And yeah, they've already made up a second on our race leader. So the gap down to 26.3 seconds for Fnatic, which is not quite enough to get past just yet. So the momentum is definitely with them, but it's not over yet. We still have
nothing
over half
but
the race.
Clear air in front of these two.
Yeah, the drivers they're battling,
holding everybody up.
Well, not really, but yeah, I see what you mean. I mean, he's got a little bit of a gap. It's not necessarily going to affect Sufor or Hernandez. These two more likely to hold each other up. But Dodislav, the big loser at this point in the race, Sufor really is feeling racy tonight. Goes to the inside. Hernandez wide and losing momentum with that slide there. Sufor up to P2. He really wants a slice of this race. So I'd say this is the fight currently for P3. I think the pace is definitely at the front of this race. But I think we're watching the battle for P3.
Trying to battle back.
Yeah, but Sufor's great on the brakes. Nicely done. And he's going to get a good exit as well. You can see to the left of your screen just the white and black XRG of Grzanka just slowly coming in and out of shot. Sufor is catching him up, but not close enough on this occasion to get a slipstream. But we'll give them their shot of the limelight. The gap to our winners from last time has now gone down by another second, so that gap is coming down. But anything can happen in GTI Thursday. And it does.
Yeah, Grzanka's going to lead him for one more lap here at least. Sufor's got to do it on the infield. He's been so good on the brakes today, so Sufor's got one more good chance. We know that here.
Yeah, more drivers going into the pit lane to allow free passage for Fnatic and Joe. And, well, it looks like Joe just can't close that gap. Fnatic is holding him. Holding him perfectly here. And Stanislav and Unite are close together. And Magic wants a slice.
You can see in their rearview mirrors, the battle is on. As that's Unite leading Magic. Dodislav.
Not for long. Unite went wide at turn 4. And that's Rid pushing him through. It's not going to work there. I like his thinking, though. It's Nally Luca. I've got them mixed up again. Nally Luca is ahead of Rid in this race. And now closes up behind Unite. Trying to follow Unite through.
Yeah, Dodislav, he just doesn't seem to have the pace.
Oh, we got 3 wide into Parabolica. And Unite's snuck it up the inside. Dodislav can't do anything on the outside there. The momentum is with Unite on the inside line. And they're going to split into 2 lines here. Magic's going to try and follow Unite through. He's going to have to hope that Unite goes super late on the brakes. Otherwise, there's going to become a car in between him, and Dodislav's gone a bit deep. So too has Nalaluka. They all check up, and somehow Dodislav's held on. That's impressive. Fair play. Fair play.
Yeah, he's going to lead him out onto the oval.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be, unfortunately, but it was a nice move. 2-4 pits.
We've got a big train of cars behind him now, though. Magic drops out a little early, maybe. We go too wide here.
Yep, nice formation, which is going to become 4 wide any second now. Nope, Nalaluka opting to just follow Magic there.
Yeah, looks like a good idea.
Yeah, it's worked out well. And we've got Sufor rejoining. Magic won't be ahead, so Sufor manages to stay ahead of these guys. Critically, Sufor is now behind Joe Holmes.
And 2 more cars are joining this train.
Yeah, it's brilliant stuff.
It's that riding rocket.
This right here is the reason these drivers come to race in this championship. This is a sort of racing that they all love. Being within touching distance of everyone else on the racetrack, fighting over millimeters and hundredths of a second to win.
And having the confidence to race like this with the people you're up against.
Yeah, it's just the best. As it looks like Joe and Fnatic have a Hermani now in front of them. Well, Fnatic's got through, but Joe next.
And Hermani gets right out of the way.
Yeah, well out of the way.
I needed him to slow Joe down there.
But fair play to Fnatic. This is a really, really great, very strong race for him so far. He's already won the first race, but we thought that he might be suffering a little bit with pace in race 2 if it was a fight between himself and Joe. But right now, he's proving us wrong. As Hernandez slips behind Grzanka. This is the battle for the overall lead.
And Grzanka will lead him in. Oh, Hernandez, nice. He's got position. Grzanka will hold him off. Hernandez keeping the pressure right on Grzanka. Just got to look for a way to get to the inside on some of these turns. Pekka not far behind. And then it's Chameleon. And that's Krill in 5th.
Yeah, and a bit of a gap still back to these guys, but critically, the gap from Fnatic to our race leader is now only 20 seconds, so there will be more than just daylight between Fnatic and Hernandez when Hernandez pits. It does not take 20 seconds to give us a pit stop around here. Or rather, it's just over that amount of time. It is more like 23 seconds.
Yeah, I think it's close to 25 seconds to just drive down the whole pit lane with the stop. But yeah, maybe we'll have battle on for the lead as Joe now seeing what he can do.
Yeah, not quite close enough out of the final corner for a slipstream, so the margins are ever so close, but not enough.
We've got Grzanka in from the lead.
Yeah, so now we'll see what that advantage is for Fnatic. Grzanka picking quite a late pit lane, spots his stop quite nicely and is away again. But hold on to your butts. Here comes Fnatic and Joe Holmes. There you can see Grzanka pushed quite a way down. He's lost quite a lot of time at the front fighting with Hernandez, and that spells doom to everyone we were watching before, because these two, they've done it again. They've ended up back on top from 14th and 15th on the grid.
With 3 laps remaining.
Yeah, it's been another quick race.
And Joe will slowly start applying the pressure.
Yeah, now he's close enough to really make Fnatic panic. This is what he wanted at the end of last race. But now they've both served their pit stops. They've given us all they need to give. Now it's a straight fight to the end. 3 laps to go. 2.5.
There would have been a good chance this would have been a battle for the points lead. You know, Fnatic had to take a break, so yeah, that cost him all his points. But I think if he would have been there for the whole season, he might have been able to keep up with Joe. But yeah, this should be good. Both evenly matched drivers. Can Joe get to the rear bumper? No, he's just outside the draft, I think.
This is so unbelievably close. And it's going to come down to the wire once again. We're right on board.
Closing. He's got the draft.
Joe Holmes. He has just about got the slipstream, but is it enough? He's teetering on the edge. But is he going to pull closer? I don't think so. Or is he now starting to close in? No, it's so hard to see from this camera angle. But I don't think it's enough by the time he gets to turn 1. Or is it? It might be. He starts to close in. Fnatic will be well aware. Oh no, he's opened the door.
Oh, we're going to go door to T1.
Why has Fnatic opened the door and made it so easy for Joe to go up the inside? It makes absolutely no sense in my brain. Well, I don't understand what I've just seen. That was way too easy. You have to go defensive. You cannot let that happen.
No, yeah, Fnatic has enough experience to know.
Just giving that away for us.
Protect inside.
That he just gave it away. It's as if he didn't even know that Joe was coming. Unbelievable.
It's not over. We got the oval one more time.
Oh, it's over. Joe's not going to give up the inside line like that. So, Fnatic scoring an own goal in my book. I have no idea what he was thinking there. Too easy.
Fnatic's still right there. He can just be glued on the rear bumper. He'll get it.
He has got to get the mother of all exits, and
is he going to go for it here?
Not only that, he's got to get past Joe, who will go defensive if he needs to, and he's not got the whole oval to do it. He's only got half the oval to make this move. We watch
more
on board.
Than enough oval.
Well, let's see what happens here then, folks, because Fnatic is glued to that rear bumper. But has he got enough? Has he got enough in it to get across the back of Joe before the start-finish line? Fraz, take us to the line.
He's closing. He's in the draft.
Joe's going to close the inside line. He's not going to open it. He's going to stay as far down as he can. He's not going to open the door. And there you go. Fnatic's pushing him along.
It's there. He can do it.
He can't do it. Here's the line.
He can go right now.
No, it's done. It's done. Oh, no. Off we go.
Final lap.
What has he done there?
Oh, the gap is too big.
What has he done there?
As we got Pekka in. Krill in. But yeah, Joe has opened up the lead. Look at this.
Yeah, I know. This is what we were missing out on while we were too busy focusing on our leaders. We've got 6 cars fighting over P. What was that? P5. Got Sufor leading 4 wide almost into turn 1.
Cars
With
coming out of the pits.
yeah, unbelievable. Look how many cars we've got on the
We've got
final lap in
Magic.
turn 2. We've got
Is
cars
that
off.
Hernandez? We got
Rayman throwing
Nico.
tires around. Twin Cam throwing tires around. Nico off.
Oh, Nico off.
Oh, he's going to lose a load of places. What absolute chaos.
Looks like a checkup by was that Nally?
Yeah. Oh, brilliant stuff into turn 2 for everybody. Oh, and there's huge contact.
2 cars.
It's Master and was it Krill going round? Couldn't quite catch it. I think it was Krill. Yeah, Krill and Master going round. But Joe Holmes has opened that gap up to Fnatic. I've no idea what Fnatic was thinking.
Yeah. He is my teammate. So I can't comment. He should have knew what he was doing. So here comes Joe Holmes for the final time this season. Already crowned a champ. And there it is, the final turn. All he's got is the long straight ahead of him. We got Fnatic in second. But Fnatic, yeah, we thought this would be much closer right now. Because there it is, Joe Holmes with the win, guys. Woohoo, Joe. What a fantastic season of racing from Joe Holmes.
Yeah, he's proven to everybody that he's still got it, and some. And well, Fnatic held him to account tonight. 1 win apiece between Joe and Fnatic. But what could have been for Fnatic there? I do not understand it. It'll confuse me till my final breath, I think. But there we go. Nali Luka, a good finish for him. P3 in the end. Pekka Koivunen in P4 with Sufor in P5 as the frivolity begins.
Oh, that battle for 3 to 10 was probably as tight as you can find anything.
Yeah, fantastic racing all the way to the end. I mean, you don't wait 25 minutes and find 10 plus cars all going into turn 2 at the same time in any other championship. GTI Thursday has delivered time and time again, and
what a race to end the season with.
Yeah, 100% would agree. We're just waiting for Faku, I think, to come around and finish the race before we can...
that was nice that he finished, because he was in the beach there pretty deep at one point.
Yeah, was that this race or last race? I can't remember.
No, I think it was this race, maybe.
I've kind of blurred into one.
There's so much action out there, it's hard to remember what happened on lap 2.
Yeah, indeed. I think that was the first race. We saw somebody shooting off in the midfield. But anyway, I might be wrong.
Yeah, there's so much action, it's hard to keep track of.
Well, thanks for having us along, Fraz, for another season of GTI Thursday. It's been a pleasure.
Oh, that was just a blast to hang out with you guys all season.
Well, here comes Faku up to the line for Team America. And we will do the final rundown of the results for the final time in 2024 for GTI Thursday. So yeah, 1 apiece. 1 for Fnatic and 1 for Joe Holmes. On this occasion, it was Joe Holmes, Drivers' Championship champion, winning in 25 minutes 13 seconds, taking the fastest lap again at 2 minutes 12.93, faster than his lap in the first race. With Fnatic there taking P2 on this occasion, less than a second between them in both races, Fraz. And what could have been for Joe in race 1 had he got a representative qualifying time. Nali Luka P3.
Well, yeah, they ran that different pit stops.
Yeah,
in race 1, and I think that cost Joe.
I think so. I completely agree with you. It's easy to say it in hindsight. It's easy to say it from the comfort of our armchairs. But yeah, I think you're right. Pekka Koivunen, P4, best of the rest today with Sufor, Hernandez, Magic Unite, Guzanka, Rayman, all giving us fantastic racing. So too did Ricardo and Dodislav, especially. Dodislav getting a lot of airtime tonight. A bit unlucky to finish all the way down in P12, a race that could have been for him. Chameleon and Rid, Hachiroku, Curry, Kirill, Ruby, Twinkamp, and Gabri. These names have provided us with so much entertainment all season long. Can't thank them enough, really. Mad Jester, 21st. He won't be happy with that. It could have been better for him for sure. But yeah, no, a good season for him in various championships across Live for Speed. Definitely want to keep an eye on as he improves. Then we've got Master, Carls, Rocket, Nightcord, Spider-Man, Hermani, Gritch, Fakudi, Olgita, and Cubs. Olgita and Cubs DNF, in fact. So didn't finish the race. But nonetheless, that was action-packed as ever, Fraz, and a good one to finish the year on.
Oh, that was, yeah. I couldn't ask for a better race. Like, what a Christmas present.
An early Christmas present for all of us. But yeah, that is a wrap for the 2024 season of GTI Thursday. Thank you very much, Fraz, for putting it on for us.
Oh, and yeah, thanks for having me for the season, guys.
Very welcome. Great to have you in the commentary box for this, and let's see what next year brings. But speaking of the next things to come, we have one final race broadcast for 2024 coming your way tomorrow night for Fragmaster's Fox Friday. The final round of that championship comes to its hopefully spectacular conclusion at the exact same track. It's Kyoto Ring National Reversed again in the FOX.
Yeah, it's funny how that worked out, but yeah, it wasn't planned.
Yeah, the Formula XR will take to this track for what I've understood to be quite an epic amount of laps. I think we're going to get a sizable amount of racing tomorrow night, Fraz.
Well, it is our event number 750.
Yeah, and, so fair play.
So we'd like to throw out 75 laps tomorrow. And we've mixed it up. Don't expect a balanced race anywhere.
Yeah. Tomorrow's race, if anybody is interested, is going to consist of a one-shot qualifying, starting at, I believe, that'll be, what will that be, Fraz? That'll be, it's 8 o'clock UTC?
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock my time.
Yeah, so 8 o'clock UTC. That's the one-shot qualifying for as long as that lasts. Be in the server for 8 o'clock if you want to get a lap, UTC. Then you're going to do a 10-lap sprint qualifying race to set the grid for a 20-lap mid-race, they've called it. So it's like a second race that's slightly longer, and then a 45-lap sprint race with a top 15 reverse. That's going to be absolute chaos. I can't wait.
Yeah, we're hoping that maybe tires and stuff come into effect on the third race. It's really probably about the race lengths that we normally run.
It's a bit longer, I think. I think we're expecting 2 hours, 10 minutes just for the racing, which is quite a lot longer than normal. So that's going to be interesting to say the least. But yeah, if we get four interesting things going on: one-shot quali, 10-lap sprint race, 20-lap mid-race, and a 45-lap feature race with a top 15 reverse grid. Don't miss it tomorrow night, starting at 8 o'clock UTC here on Sim Broadcast with myself and Michael Malikan. Fraz, do you want to join us in the commentary box for that one?
If I can, I really like to hang out with the guys, especially race number 750, but I will probably join you for a bit tomorrow if possible.
Yeah, jump in at any point if you feel up for it. We'd love to have you along. Of course, I know you love to be in the Discord server for your Fox Friday action, and it's a big milestone, so I don't want to take that away from you. But if you do feel like it, please, by all means, jump in and have a blast on the microphone in here instead. Yeah,
I hope we put on a good race for you guys.
Well, that's coming up tomorrow, but from all of us here at Sim Broadcasts for the final round of the 2024 season of Fragmaster GTI Thursday, congratulations to Joe Holmes, congratulations to Born to Race for the 2 championships. Thanks to all of you that have watched this season, and of course thanks to our drivers who have made it all possible. That's all to say, Fraz, I think, and then we can say goodnight.
Yep, good night everyone, and Merry Christmas, and have a great New Year.
Same as what Fraz just said. I echo that entirely. From all of us here, have a great night. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.